Oh, snap. Welcome back to the channel, y'all. My name's Patrick. If you like true crime, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Hit the thumbs up button, though, YouTube. That is all the YouTube machine cares about, them little thumbs up. So if you like the video, if you want to support the channel, all you got to do is just hit that little thumbs up button, y'all. I appreciate the hell out of it. Thank you so much. We got all kinds of Gypsy Rose things to talk about tonight. Without a crystal ball, and Kyla bringing us some awesome content to take a look at and discuss and talk about and do all kinds of things. So are y'all ready for this? I don't know, but let's find out. I'm going to shrink myself down, and here we go. Oh, Lord.
You know what's funny is I had some prenatal vitamins that before I got pregnant, or before I knew I was pregnant, I was taking prenatal gummies because they taste good. Like, they taste like candy. And so I was like, I want a vitamin. And some people were like, well, take a prenatal because that's like really good for your hair, skin, nails, and stuff. So I was already taking prenatals before I even knew that I was pregnant. So I was like, when I found out I was pregnant, thank God, like, I was already taking prenatals. That's awesome. Baby will have a lot of hair. Well, good. It'll take after me and not Ken. I wanted something with like AI technology. I want only the best for my baby. Essentially, our baby will have 2 nurseries because I can't live with Ken. I'm on parole. I could spend 2 days a week at Ken's apartment. So essentially, the baby will have a nursery here and the baby will have a nursery there. When do I plan on moving out? You know, as soon as I'm off parole. You know, I'm not gonna live at home forever. All right, guys. Well, I'm sorry my phone died. I'm gonna charge.
Oh my word!
My phone a little better next time. But I'm kind of stationary because I'm kind of tethered down. No, I am not on house arrest.
House arrest.
So these are my feet. Okay. No ankle monitor. I'm not on house arrest. I'm not going back to prison.
Okay, yesterday we did a video.
Oh my God.
And we talked about some possible restrictions that have been placed on Gypsy Rose related to her parole, related to some of her behavior offline, online with her friends, contacting inmates, possible reaching out to individuals that are connected to Nick Godejohn and the like. And all of this has been captured online. It was Gypsy's friend Bree who basically was busted telling Gypsy to lie to her PO, and Gypsy saying, well,
I think that was wasn't that the one where they thought they were off the live stream, but they weren't off the live stream and they were just talking about that craziness.
Well, I guess I'll find out my fate.
Mandy, apparently that's what people had said, is that she was on some kind of house arrest or something.
Tomorrow. Now, there's been a lot of questions about whether or not she's going to go back to the clinker. And yesterday I also
the clinker
said it was my suspicion that she might be given restrictions about social media because she hadn't been going live. So naturally.
Oh, so naturally she goes live. Imagine that. By the way, y'all, make sure you follow Without a Crystal Ball. That's who we're listening to. Her, she's tagged down in the description. Go give her some love. And YouTube, hit the thumbs up button. Let's get 100 likes. TikTok, hit the follow button. Tap the screen like crazy. If you're new here, my name's Patrick. Welcome to the family. Thank you for the little love painting things. And thank you for subscribing to the channel. Love you guys. Come over to YouTube if you want to watch the video, The Mystery Project. Search that. You'll find the channel. We're live right now.
Gypsy had to go live in order to debunk this. Now, I'm of the opinion that Gypsy is a very manipulative person. And this is because of my own interactions with her. In fact, I know for a fact she used to do this with someone named Nina, Flawless Nina, who she is someone that she cannot stand. So Nina would post something and then Gypsy would post something to her stories or to her feed, to her videos or to something to prove them wrong. And Gypsy herself has also admitted on the Lifetime show that she will post things to her haters about rumors or whatever to shut down conversations. It's manipulation tactics. So today, Gypsy wanted everyone to understand that I don't have an ankle monitor on my foot and I am free and I'm not on house arrest and I have no restrictions. Yet she accidentally did a couple things that made me kind of question her story.
I have a very
Oh Lord.
short fuse right now, but I'm doing the best I can. Thankfully, I'm in therapy, and I talk to my therapist about the things that bother me, and I'm able to get like really good insight. So my emotions are on beyond a 10. They're like a 12 and above. I have to stick to facts and what I know instead of my emotions, because if I let my emotions lead the way, my perception gets changed, and that just makes for a whole mess. But unfortunately, we can't live together because I'm on parole. So I could go sleep at his apartment for a few nights, and that's been like okayed by my PO. My PO already told me you could stay at Ken's for a few days, a week. But this living with my parents, I live with my parents for like at least another 11 months.
So these lives were from earlier in July, and in these lives, Gypsy is
Dun,
talking
dun,
about her
dun.
increased escalating anger and how she's very emotional and getting very easily triggered and going off. Even in today's live, she talked about Ken not finding his shirt and not being able to find his shirt was going to send her into a spiral. And she joked about it. And then
What?
on July
Hello,
30th,
thank you.
while she was live, someone asked her about living with Ken. And in that video, she said she could stay at his house for a couple days, even a week, and it was all okay with her PO. But that was never the truth. And today, when
Oh damn.
she was asked, her response was completely different. And she said that due to her parole, she can only stay at his house or go to his house. She didn't say stay at his house. She said she could only go to his house 2 days a week. July 30th, she says up to a week. August 9th, she says 2 days.
Essentially, our baby will have 2 nurseries because
The parole officer caught that and was like, "Oh hell no, a week? Mm-hmm. Hell no, it's a day, maybe 2."
I can't live with Ken. I'm on parole. I could spend 2 days a week at Ken's apartment. So essentially, the baby will have a nursery here, and the baby will have a nursery there.
Gypsy also made a point of having to show her ankles and try to show that she didn't have an ankle monitor. And I don't know that anyone here said that she had an ankle monitor or that she had been fitted for an ankle monitor or anything of the sort, but she had to show off her legs multiple times. It got a little bit strange towards the end, though, because she ran out of power on her live and she said that she was tethered down and so she needed to stay. Ankle monitors are taken off when you go in the shower. And when she started the live, she actually had just gotten out of the shower and she was doing her makeup. You can take them off when you're in the shower and you have to put them back on. They're not all waterproof, and a lot of the companies don't recommend that you wear them in the shower. So when they're off, you don't have it on, but it's still near you. They also need to be charged. So I thought when she said she was tethered down, that was a very interesting choice of words. But again, I never said that she had an ankle monitor. It only seemed
Are they saying that she took it off to get in the shower and went live instead?
as though she had been placed on house restrictions due to some violations she had related to her parole. Of course, Gypsy, who is known to lie and has lied in the past, I want to remind people that she is the same woman that said that she and Ken never hooked up at all in the beginning of April, that they were just friends, and now we know that they hooked up. She's the same woman that said that Ken and her relationship had nothing to do with her split with Ryan, and Ryan and Lifetime proved that she and Ken were hooking up in February, or at least talking in February.
Oh God.
So I don't take a lot of credence to anything that she says. But to give you an understanding of what supervising restrictions and strategies are for someone on parole in the state of Missouri, this is directly from their handbook. It says that the Department of Corrections has developed a continuum of supervision strategies. These strategies include, but are not limited to, an initial assessment phase and then 3 intervention level phases: electronic monitoring, day reporting, residential facilities, a community release center, community supervision centers, and institutional treatment centers. Your needs and risks to the community will be assessed regularly during your supervision period to determine the program or intervention level that is best for you. Each strategy has its own rules and program requirements, and you are responsible for completing any supervision strategy to which you may be assigned and for abiding by all rules and program requirements pertaining to the supervision strategy. So when she was paroled, she was given no ankle monitor. She was not given a lot of restrictions. She was able to go places and she was able to do things to a degree, but she still had to be at her address when she wasn't working, and she was only allowed to go out with certain people, and she had to check in with her PO. Okay. So she's gotten into a bit of trouble as of late. And as you know, she was caught on
Oh Lord.
live basically saying that she
T-R-O-U-B-L-E.
would have her fate found out by her parole officer. So it's
Britt, thank you.
possible that she may not be on electronic monitoring. She could be on day reporting, which means that every single day she has to check in with her PO. They could, if it gets to a point where she has to have electronic monitoring, which they do give an ankle bracelet for. She could also be placed in a facility like a halfway house or a community release of residential facility, or a community release center, which is like a halfway house, a community supervision center, or a treatment center. And these are all done before someone would be put back into prison. And here's the thing. They don't want to necessarily put her back in prison, and they may find at any time while she's on prison that the current restrictions she has are not working. And it's clear that based upon what happened with her talking to inmates, that she went from saying, I can stay at Ken's 7 days a week to I can only spend 2 days. 2 days. According to the rules in probation and parole, she is required to have a home plan, and that home plan includes where she's going to parole to and what will be her primary residence. Under the stipulations of the law of the parole board in Missouri, primary resident means where she spends most of her time. It means she cannot just simply spend time at somebody's house for days upon days upon days, because at any point in time, her PO can stop in at her primary resident. And if she is not there, she can get violated.
Dun, dun, dun.
Gypsy is...
You what?
Y'all, by the way, YouTube, hit the thumbs up button. We're still not at 100 likes. TikTok, hit the follow button if you're new here. My name's Patrick. If you like a little true crime, we're live every single night. We're talking about Gypsy Rose right now. Appears to be one of the only things people are talking about. So welcome in. Thanks for being here. Hit the follow button. Tap the screen like crazy too. Let's get 25,000 likes. Thank you for the little gifts, y'all. I appreciate it. The TikTok is not monetized at all other than the live gifts and the subscription. So thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks for everything that you guys do. So sweet. And TikTok wants 5 more of those things. So make them happy, y'all. I appreciate it. Let's keep going. Oh, and if you want to watch the video with us, like actually see the video, we're live on YouTube. Shout out to YouTube. Just search The Mystery Project. It should be pinned on the screen. Can y'all see it? Thumbs up in the chat. The Mystery Project. That's the name of the true crime channel on YouTube. You can see the videos over there. Let's go. YouTube, hit the thumbs up button. Come on. 39 left, 34 left now.
Very, very, very interested in controlling narratives here, and doesn't want anyone to know about the parole violations. She doesn't want people to know that she might have an ankle monitor. And even if she doesn't have an ankle monitor, she could be doing what's called day reporting. But either way, it's clear there's been changes to her spending time with Ken, which is what I told you about yesterday. Ken has outstanding fines and court cases in the state of Texas for whatever reason. And due to that, he is not deemed as someone she can spend all her time with, and she cannot parole to him.
Xtina, thank you.
Because...
Oh, that's Christina. Just kidding. Thank you.
Under the requirements of parole inmates are either going to be released to a family member or to a halfway house. Or else they have to get someone else approved, which includes the parole board going through that person's background to determine if they are suitable for someone to have parole, to like take care of on parole. Ryan passed because he's a teacher, he has a clean record, he had a good job. I don't think Ken would pass because of these cases that he just won't clean up. He has inconsistent employment, and he's had cases in multiple different states, whereas Ryan has none, and he has unstable employment. So with that said, I didn't feel a lot really changed in my opinions about the information I was received. She's still in trouble, but she has an image to maintain, as well as this is being filmed. So certainly she doesn't want to give out spoilers to the public that she was, given new restrictions. And it certainly wouldn't help her image of being on a journey to reform, right? Okay. So we know now that there has been escalating tempers and flaring tempers at their house. We know that her parents have been arguing. We know that neighbors have said there have been police called. We know that it's not just neighbors that are talking about this escalating discord at the house, but it's family members, it's friends. A lot of people are coming out of the woodwork because they're frankly just tired of Gypsy and her family profiting off the demise of what she did to her mother, Dei Blanchard. Last night, I was actually on a panel on Ivory Rose Knows on her TikTok. And while we were on panel, a family friend of Dei Dei's, who is friends with Dei Dei's sisters, came onto the panel
Thank you,
to
Erica.
talk about some of the claims that Gypsy made in the book that she wrote and whether or not the sisters do
She wrote a book?
plan to sue Gypsy. Basically what the friend said, and I was trying to find video of it, but I don't think I took video of it. But basically what the friend said was that presently, at least from her knowledge, there was not discussion about the sisters suing Gypsy. However, that is not off the table in the future. It's interesting because the family seems to believe that Gypsy is going to be sued by one of the sisters. And yet
Whoa.
the family comes out and says, no, not right now. I think it's the idea or the possibility that maybe it will happen, or perhaps they don't want to play their cards or show their cards quite yet. Either way, what the friend did say is that the grandfather is 86 years old. This is the grandfather that Gypsy accused of essaying her as a child.
Oh, hell.
This is the same grandfather that the friend that Gypsy accused of essaying Dei Dei, and that Dei Dei confided in her that he did this to Dei Dei. According to the friend, this never happened. And they claim that the soundbite that they got of the grandfather was apparently somehow construed incorrectly, because the way he described it, it's like when a little kid comes walking up to you and they just start grabbing you and it's in the wrong places. Nothing in a manner that is of the nature of the sexual kind. But they were adamant that he did not ever do that to Gypsy. And they were even more adamant that he never did that to Dei Dei. As far as like all three of them taking baths together, the friend said the house is very small. The bathtub is very small, and there would never be room for her grandfather, her mom, and her all in a bathroom and a bathtub together. Gypsy has routinely
That is crazy as hell.
accused people of doing things to her that didn't happen. And so while I never want to say it didn't happen or not believe a victim, she has a pattern of saying things like she allowed Nick to R her. That was their agreement after they unalived her mom. And
What?
then she changed it years later and said, well, it started consensual, and then I said it wasn't. She tries to get revenge on people once she's mad at, like, once she's done with them. When it came to Ryan, she all but accused him to me of nearly getting physically violent with her. And there was absolutely no evidence of that on the show. And she told me that we would see it all on the show. She told TMZ we would see this altercation. It never aired because it probably didn't happen. The friend also stated
Oh, Lord.
that it's absolutely false that Dei Dei ever chained Gypsy to a bed for 2 weeks. What she said about Dei Dei was that Dei Dei and Gypsy had
Thanks for the follows, TikTok. Y'all hit that follow button. Keep tapping the screen too. And we got one more of those love things, whatever it is they're trying to get y'all to do tonight. YouTube, hit the thumbs up button. 25 likes left.
a tenuous relationship, but close to the end of Dei Dei's life,
that
she was
gal.
very ill, and she was dealing with complications from diabetes, complications from her heart condition, and complications from gout, making her at times bedbound. And Dei Dei wouldn't put her on a leash like that because, frankly, this story doesn't compute to how the bedroom was actually set up. And she wouldn't have, as Gypsy said, have to go to the bathroom on herself because they were in the same bed. Why would Dei Dei want to sleep in a bed with Gypsy and have her going to the bathroom on the bed? It's a lie. It's just a flat out lie. It doesn't mean that Dei Dei didn't have
What do y'all think? Thanks for the follows, TikTok. Damn, coming in strong.
to take away things or punish Gypsy at times for her behavior. Gypsy, I mean, there's actual text messages of Dei Dei saying she took away Gypsy's computer for posting inappropriate messages and inappropriate conduct towards her father and making like accusations towards him and blaming him for her being sick. So,
whoa. B, thank you. Christina, thank you.
But she said she took the laptop away for 2 days. And Gypsy said her mom smashed the laptop and broke it and tied her up. I don't know about that. I don't know. What I do know is that Dee Dee did cover for Gypsy a lot. Everyone covers for Gypsy. Christy covers for Gypsy. Dee Dee found ways to blame Aaliyah for things. She found ways to, try to excuse her bad behavior, explain away what Gypsy was doing. But it appears, though, that towards the end of her life, Gypsy's escalating behavior was really hard for Dee Dee to manage, and Dee Dee herself was dealing with her own illnesses. All that to say is the family said that the family wants nothing to do with Gypsy. So basically, their position is this: Gypsy is lying about Dee Dee, is lying about the grandfather, is lying about what Dee Dee did to her, and is blaming Dee Dee for what Gypsy did to her. The family, specifically her sisters, loved Dee Dee, loved her, and the ashes were never, ever flushed down the toilet. In fact, the friend said that Dee Dee's sister has an urn of Dee Dee's ashes at her house. So she cares about Dee Dee. They care about Dee Dee. And all of them were just heartbroken and disgusted by this entire media blitz that Gypsy's been on for all these years, discrediting Dee Dee to justify what she did to Dee Dee. And the family acknowledges that Dee Dee wasn't a perfect mother, definitely was a con, wrote bad checks, had a propensity to take out credit cards in other people's names, stole money from people in the family.
Dear Lord.
They don't deny that.
Oh, thanks, y'all. We hit it.
But that kind of criminal activity, which is petty in the grand schemes of what Gypsy did to her mother, doesn't compute to what Gypsy did, right? So they said, yes, she ran this con with Gypsy, but Gypsy was in on it. That's what they said. They said Gypsy full well knew about the fact that she could walk. She also knew that she didn't have leukemia. They said Gypsy was aware that there were some things that her mom was claiming, and they were claiming these things in order for Gypsy to get free trips, money, gifts, houses. It was a way to run a scam to get stuff so that Dee Dee could stay home and care for her daughter.
Sharon, thank you.
It's not ethical.
I mean, I feel like kids would do that just because, you know what I mean? Like if you tell a kid, oh, finish your food so you can have whatever, they're going to finish their food so they can have whatever. You tell your kid, hey, just sit in this chair and pretend like you can't walk and we're going to get to go to Disneyland. They're going to be like, okay. But I guess she was way older than what they were trying to perceive her to be, though, right? So maybe she actually she was old enough to figure out, I probably shouldn't do this because this is fraud.
Well, it's totally,
I don't know. Y'all let me know.
Wrong, but it's not like what Gypsy did to Dee Dee. As far as the surgeries that Gypsy needed when she was younger, what the friend said is that Gypsy was sick as a child, and that Gypsy still has ongoing health conditions, and that Dee Dee wasn't lying about those conditions. They said it was known when Gypsy was younger that she had a chromosomal disorder, and that some of the issues she was dealing with were related to this chromosomal disorder, and that the surgeries on her eyes and on her throat, her ears, the salivary glands was all connected to this. Same with the feeding. None of that was because she wasn't sick. And she still has this. She still has this microdeletion. And the friend said, and it's obviously still affecting Gypsy. They're just denying it. And the way that the friend framed it around Rod is that they think that Rod is in denial. And the reason they think Rod is in denial is that Rod believes that all of it was fake because he doesn't want to live with himself for abandoning a child that was sick. And so he'll deny that this was ever needed, and he'll paint Dee Dee as a monster because he neglected Gypsy so much, walked out of her life, wasn't around. And I understand he was out working on the offshore rigs and he was gone for months at a time. And I understand in this culture, when the men are out working, it's very hard and they don't have the capacity to always have the best relationships with their kids. And the task and the burden falls onto the moms to take care of the kids, and the dads have distance relationships with their families, even with their own children. And so it's not outside of the norm that he wouldn't have had the best relationship with his kids, even his own children at home. But he did not make an effort with Gypsy, and he was taken to court numerous times for failure to pay child support. So not only did Dee Dee have to take him to court in 95, but she also had to take him to court in 99. And there was a criminal case actually opened against Rod for failure to pay and non-support. He was sentenced to 10 days in jail.
Oh,
It
damn.
was suspended and he was put on probation. And he was ordered to pay child support in 99 of $350 a month, not $1,100 like he claimed on the show. And he was ordered.
Oh, Lord. Steph Case Files in the house. Y'all, make sure you give her a follow. She's right there. Give her a follow. She does awesome work. And welcome in. Y'all hit the follow button too here. Tap the screen like crazy. 50,000 likes. We're almost there. Almost there. Thanks for the hand hearts. YouTube, hit the thumbs up button. We got 7 likes. And we hit 100 likes. Come on, y'all. Do it, do it, do it. Let's keep going.
To catch up with everything in 99 and 2000 when Gypsy was almost 10 years old. He also claimed that he hadn't seen Gypsy walk since she was 3, but Gypsy didn't start using a wheelchair until she was 9. So I think Rod just has, according to the friend, guilt about the fact, or in on the con, as the friend said. Guilt that he allowed the con to go on, but also because he never went to any of these doctor's appointments, that he's ignorant and he refuses to acknowledge that this is going on. But also because it's a chromosomal deletion and it can be hereditary, and because Dei Dei didn't have it, they also think he might be in denial because he's not getting the testing and he doesn't want to be the cause of what happened to her. So if he doesn't get the testing to find out if he passed this down to her, and he can just deny that she has it, it's easier for him. It's easier for him to claim that what Dei Dei did was all a lie and all fake and all to hurt Gypsy. His position is that Dei Dei did all of this in a vindictive way to get back at him for abandoning his daughter. If you look at it from Dei Dei's side of the house, it's quite different though. Rod was a 17-year-old young man that got multiple women pregnant in the span of 6 months, fathered 2 children born less than 6 months apart, both girls with 2 different women. Rod, according to Christie's texts, was drinking and on drugs.
Oh, Lord. Y'all, I didn't know that. Did you know that? Ness, thanks for doing it.
And
Rara, it's Without a Crystal Ball on YouTube. If you come over to YouTube, you can see everybody that we're watching. You can actually see the videos, and they're all pinned in the description. The Mystery Project on YouTube. Come subscribe, y'all. Come on.
The friend said on Gypsy, when Dei Dei and Rod got engaged, or when they got married, someone had to bail Rod out of jail, allegedly. Rod wasn't on the up and up. He was wild, and he was very immature, and he made really bad decisions. From Dei Dei's perspective, he was unreliable to his daughter. He was drinking and doing drugs. Dei Dei was not. Dei Dei was tasked with having to take care of this child on her own, and had an ex-husband that wasn't paying child support and was consistently falling behind on child support to the extent that multiple times she had to go back to court to enforce him to pay child support. All of this left Dei Dei financially strapped and required to come up with all the money to help her daughter get the services, the medical insurance, and the help that she needed for her chromosomal deletion and the medical conditions that came with it. So Rod, going along with the narrative that was all Munchausen's, allows him to absolve himself of that bad behavior and deny that any of it was needed, and that it was all just vindictive by Dei Dei to get back at him. Is it more probable that she actually had, if you look at the records, a chromosomal deletion, which is in the medical records, and actually needed ear tubes and eye surgery and her salivary glands removed and a feeding tube, which is all backed by reports and testing done in the hospital? It seems far-fetched that Dei Dei would make this all up just to get back at Rod. It almost feels like it's a narrative that was created by Christie so that they could absolve themselves of neglecting Gypsy and blaming Dei Dei for her own death. This is a couple that says Dei Dei deserved it. They have no...
Dear Lord. How long has the Rod guy and what's the lady's name? Christy? How long have they been together? Have they been together for a long time?
No sympathy whatsoever for her. And this is the same man that says that Dei Dei controlled and kept her like a prisoner. And yet Christy is as controlling, if not more, of Gypsy. They have another thing that the friend said is that Rod and Christy are intentionally hiding money from the family and from the law so that the victims and the estate of Dei Dei can't go after it. So they're intentionally putting trust funds in their names with Gypsy's name nowhere to be seen and only in like their names or in Mia's name. They're not paying Gypsy for anything intentionally.
And Mia, is that, thank you guys. Mia, is that her half sister? Is that the dad and that lady's daughter? I'm so lost.
So that Dee Dee's family can't collect on it if they even were to sue, because Gypsy would say, I'm broke. So they said that the Blanchards have basically made it very difficult for them even to take legal action because of how dirty they're playing and the laws that they're finding loopholes to get around. And when you think of how dirty that is, they're the ones that want all the money. They're the ones that have their names on all the money. Dee Dee's family can't get access to that money. Gypsy
Whoa.
has to like assume that her parents are going to give her that money. But the friend also said that Rod and Christy used some of that money on a remodel on their home and have been using that money for themselves, not just Gypsy. Their opinion was that Rod was a deadbeat father that only came back once Gypsy was in prison because he could make money and a payday was coming.
Oh,
look what
Lord
they've
have mercy.
Accomplished. Rod said, I can't control.
That's crazy as hell. TikTok, we got hella people in here tonight. TikTok's doing anything. Make sure you hit the follow button, y'all. My name's Patrick. I go live every night. Thanks for being here. Keep going. We're not even halfway through. We got a long way to go. But y'all keep tapping the screen like crazy. Hit that follow button. If you want to come see the videos, just search the Mystery Project on YouTube. That's the name of the YouTube channel, the True Crime on YouTube. You can actually see the videos. Come hang out in the chat over there too, y'all. And YouTube, hit the thumbs up button. We got it. We got 117. Let's get 200.
What Lifetime does, they want to pay her for her story. It's all about money. Where was this family when Gypsy needed someone and Dee Dee needed someone to help with the medical care? Can you imagine if in a different world, maybe if Rod would have stepped up and actually contributed and helped financially for his child like he should have, that Dee Dee might not have had to resort to the con? The friend said that before Dee Dee met Rod, she had never been into conning, and it was Rod that got her into it to begin with. When you start to look at the different sides of the story, you start to see that one side has had a very loud voice and another side, the side of the victims, has been completely silenced. And in a story where we're supposed to not shame victims, in this case, we've allowed sympathy for a child who claimed to be the victim override the fact that a mother may not have been the villain that she portrayed her to be. Gypsy has a
Oh my goodness.
propensity to lie. She will not stop lying. She is on restrictions. She is in trouble with her parole board. And the friend said they are waiting until Grandpa dies. And once Grandpa dies, no, it's all gloves are off. They are willing to fight. They will fight Gypsy. They will take her to court. But for now,
in court, y'all. It said the gloves are off and they're willing to fight her in court. In court. Or I guess allegedly. I have no idea. Maybe they do want to actually fight her. That's crazy though. Let's keep going.
now they don't want to add any more stress to the grandfather, but they continue to worry for his safety because of the lies that Gypsy has said about him and the stigma that she's attached to him that they say is not true, that they now are worried for his safety. This is the damage that Gypsy causes and inflicts on people.
Damn.
An elderly man now fearing for his life because of one of maybe Gypsy's crazy fans might show up at his house and try to unalive him because she said he did something to her when she was a child that he says never happened. Gypsy and the lawsuits
Oh, damn.
and the family dynamics continue to unravel, and we'll be here to talk about it all. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below.
100%. Oh my God. Let's keep going. YouTube, hit the thumbs up button.
Yes. You gotta get in it.
Give me your money.
Yes.
Give me your money.
So I'm your god.
Oh my God. Is that him? Is that the dad? Oh my gosh.
Godmother, and I think that you are a boy.
Hi, I'm Mary.
Oh Lord. Oh, by the way, y'all, this is Without a Crystal Ball on YouTube. If you want to follow, subscribe, the link is down in the description.
I'm going to be your brand new.
Is this the one that they say looks like her? They kind of do look alike. It's like his sister, the dude. What's his name again?
And I'm so excited for your birth. I think you're gonna be a sweet girl. Yay.
Hi, I'm your Lolly, and I know what you are. See you
You're like, kid.
soon.
Good call.
Hey, grandchild, I'm Pop, and I know what you are.
Hi friends, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It is Monday,
Let's go.
August 12th, 2024. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. You know, it wouldn't be a weekend if there wasn't a million different rumors going around about Gypsy Rose Blanchard and a number of people coming forward following her blatant profiting off of the harm she did to her mother and her bizarre behavior on social media and the constant need for attention with her massive amounts of interviews and what appears to be fractions within the family and a lot of people basically connected to her not wanting anything to do with her anymore. And then rumors about investigations, parole violations, the like. But in true Gypsy form, in order to distract from all of that, she went ahead and had a gender reveal party over the weekend. Gender reveal parties are very strange to me, especially when you know the gender of the baby.
Amber,
and then you pretend like you didn't know what the gender of the baby is when they blow out the balloons or pop the confetti. Because Gypsy knew she was having a girl. Ken knew they were having a girl. Everyone in the family knew they were having a girl. Literally everyone.
Kelly,
she had Mia on a video saying, I think you're having a boy. Blatantly lying because everyone in the family knew she was having a girl. You know, I noticed that none of Rod's family was there. None of her cousins were there. None of her aunts or uncles were there. It was like Ken's sister, Gypsy's half-sister, and Christy's mom, who is of absolute no relation to Gypsy other than she's the stepmother's mom. So it got me thinking about the fraud that's just perpetuated. It's just like, it's a fraudulent gender reveal because everyone knows what it is. The sole purpose of the gender reveal is only for attention and to build publicity and to promote Gypsy. It's for content. It's for the media to, you know, praise her for having being pregnant with a girl and for a show. Amid that, a lot of people were going back.
Isn't that the only reason to have a gender reveal party? Like for anybody? I feel like that's why anybody would do it. Because, like, they want the attention and want people to know what the gender is. Like, man, I was thinking about having a birthday party just so people know it's the day that I was born.
You what?
Unbelievable! Clutch my pearls.
Back and forth about who was at this event, why were so many industry people there. You know, when I looked around at the photos that were circulating, I didn't see a lot of family. She invited, I guess, like 50 people and not a lot of people went. And I can tell you with certainty that nobody in the family wants anything to do with her. You know, Gypsy has become such a toxic parasite on society and a toxic parasite online. Because
tell us how you really feel.
Anyone that wants to speak out against her and anyone that wants to share the truth has to face the backlash of her best friend, Bree, who goes along and creates ridiculous accounts, mocking the people that have had experiences with them, trying to debunk the lies and accusing everyone of being a hater and trying to get clout. And when I started talking about all of this, the reason I did was because I was told information that felt almost criminal to me. I was told by Dei Blanchard that they were not paying Gypsy any money for anything. Contracts were not in her name. Interviews were not paid to her. Trust funds were set up in her name, in Christy's name, in Rod's name, and even in Mia's name to obfuscate and hide it and almost embezzle the money so that a victim or law enforcement won't know that Gypsy is profiting off of this egregiously when she's still on parole. When you're on parole, you are still the property of the state. You are still a person that the state has complete control over. They can do whatever they want with you. They can decide at any time to bring you back to prison. And Gypsy doesn't seem to care about doing anything quietly. I cannot think of many people that have committed the crimes that she has that have so blatantly gone out publicly and profited off of it with thumbing a nose at everyone and trying to completely rewrite history about what happened. When we know the details of what happened are very public, the case was extremely public. The testimony of the medical examiner, the forensics expert, the police, all of it is on YouTube. The interrogations are on YouTube. All you have to do is go watch. And if you go watch and you look and you...
Speaking of watching on YouTube, come on over. TikTok, hit the follow button right now if you're new here. But check this out, y'all. We are like 49 followers away or subscribers away on YouTube from hitting 16,000. What? Y'all, we just started the YouTube channel. We already got 16,000. Crazy as hell. Y'all hit the follow button over here too, because we're at almost 250,000. 248,534. Insane. Thanks for the love, y'all. Hit the follow button. Come over to YouTube, The Mystery Project. Search it real quick. Subscribe. You're going to love it. You can actually see the videos over there and everything. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button too. And let's keep going.
See how different the story is today for Gypsy and how she's trying to like create a narrative that she wasn't involved when she was. I think Gypsy truly believes that the public is stupid. And I'm starting to wonder what it is that law enforcement has to see before they actually step in and look at the fraud that's occurring right before our eyes. Christy and Rod Blanchard are so aware of what the law is and why Gypsy can't profit off of this. And given the fact that Gypsy could at any time still be charged with fraud, statute of limitations for bank fraud is 10 years, and she hasn't hit the 10-year mark, y'all. It's still 2024. If the feds want to bring up bank fraud charges against her for any of the fraud she was involved in while she was an adult with her mom, they can do that. She is so obviously thinks she's above the law, right? And they know this. They're well aware of this. And so what are they doing? They're hiding the money in other people's names. And I was going through and I was like, you know, Christy told me the story about how she set up the trust and everything was legal. And I just...
Oh, Lord, Amber, she probably got them. You think she's got them offshore accounts, y'all? You think she got some accounts without shores?
Thought it didn't sound...
Know what I'm saying?
Legal. To me, it seemed like if you have to buy...
Laura, I am looking at the TikTok comments. I saw it.
Bypass the law by putting a trust fund in someone else's name when you know the money is for someone else. I don't know. It kind of feels like you're either stealing money from that person or you're doing it so that you don't get charged with some sort of embezzlement, money laundering, something, because it's illegal for her to do what she's doing, and yet she's still doing it anyway. Even though the work itself is not illegal, it's illegal for her. So I was looking at Reddit and I found this person that had posted emails that they had exchanged.
I never thought about that, but I guess there are jobs that you can't do when you're on parole. I never really thought about that. Can you not make money online if you're on parole? Holly, thank you for that. That's a good question. I have no idea. You can't be an influencer. You're on parole, apparently. Who knows? I don't know. Y'all let me know what you think. TikTok, hit the follow button, though. My name's Patrick. If you like true crime, I'm live every night. YouTube, hit the subscribe button and hit the thumbs up button, too. 52 likes to 200. Let's keep going.
With Gypsy while she was still incarcerated. And one of the emails said, my new documentary for Lifetime Network is taking shape beautifully.
Oh, Lord. Amy Lee says you cannot make undocumented money while online. Oh, okay, I get it. So she as long as she's claiming that stuff, she can, but she can't make the money and then not pay herself what they're saying it's going to other people, and then they're putting it in random places. I see what you're saying.
The first 3 episodes are nearly done with editing, and the last 3 are being written out, and editing starts in 2 weeks. Written out. A documentary is written out. I worked on a documentary. I'll tell you what, nothing was written out. No language was written out. No dialogue was written out. No scripts were written out. But it sounds like Gypsy was writing out her scripts. Gypsy's also had a hard...
That's crazy as hell. You have to have some kind of, not a script, but you have to have some kind of like plan.
Hard time with ghostwriters for her books, because usually a nonfiction ghostwriter isn't going to publish fiction. I mean, just saying. She wrote that in the same email about how they were having problems with their ghostwriter. And now we have to find a brand new one and we're back at square one. So she's so-called writing a book, but the ghostwriter bowed out. It doesn't shock me, not in the least. I was also in the
ghostwriter was like, I'm out.
same set of emails. You know, she was talking about her fans and how she
They got ghosted by the ghostwriter. He went all phantom on him. I'm out of here.
has fans and she has stalkers.
Chat
She talks
GB
about messing
Chat GBT, your book. Yes. I'd love
with
it.
people specifically. And she talks a lot about Ryan's family. And she wrote, even in the beginning, Ryan's friends always would discourage him, making comments like, be careful, she's using you. Even his brother to this day says comments like, she will come out of prison and have another guy in the house so fast. You're a fool, blah, blah, blah. Some more ignorant crap. Sad part is Ryan's brother is a total loser who has been in the jail scene himself. So I'm being smack talked by a dope head. And then on the flip side, his crack hoe baby mama.
Oh my God.
That's the Gypsy Rose that we are claiming as our inspiration. And y'all, she believes she is an inspiration. She wrote, I'm not a bad person. I'm not using anyone. I may not be high quality, but I feel like I'm not prison trash just because I made one mistake. One mistake. That's how she qualifies.
One mistake. That's a pretty big ass mistake. Whoa.
She did to her mom. I'm too good for a bad boy, but I'm not good enough for a good one. That's how his world makes me feel. Just like him, I feel like I'm loved and truly embraced, but hardcore bluntness to the people around him is all I am is tolerated. His mother is super sweet to me, but sometimes I wonder if it's because she actually likes me or it's because I married her son. She even talks about
she's terrified.
Using her celebrity status to impress them. She says, I might be wrong about how they view me, but all I know is most are on guard when it comes to me, and my little divorce alarm bell
literally
freaks out. It didn't make them feel at ease. That is on me, though. Live and learn on that one. I'm trying to prove my worth and show I'm better than what they think. Flashing my status as a public figure of inspiration hasn't been successful at doing that. So maybe more hands-on with them in person and them seeing how much I love Ryan will show my true character. She's admitting to using and manipulating his family by trying to flash her status as a public figure of inspiration. She is literally telling on herself right here. Public figure of inspiration is what she believes that she is, that she can just flash this and people will forget about who she is. And the odd thing is here is that, or the irony is that his brother and his friends and his mom were all right. She was using him. She was not looking out for anybody but her. She was literally all about herself. And Ryan currently is still in the mess of things. And even he was on his TikTok and basically said that everyone knew that she was having a girl. So it was weird of her to have a gender reveal. But she even spoke about her dad and her stepmom and the money. And this I thought was ironic because this is exactly what I've said this whole time. So you can know that what Christy told me is clearly not untrue, because she says, my dad loves him. My stepmother has always been seemingly supportive, but has her moments that she is only supporting me and not him. So like a few months ago when Ryan and I had an argument, she basically sidelined him and told me I should get the marriage annulled. And if I want to date him later on, I can, but it's better to just get the annulment. 3 days before I got married, she told me to wait and talk me out of it. So, I mean, I feel like him. I feel they like him, but have a certain level of caution. I recently came into some moolah, you mean money. And so they want my money to be untouchable to him, even though we are married and do want to build a life together. Imagine you're in prison for unaliving your mom and you're like, I recently came into moolah. They have high expectations for him to take care of me and provide for me.
Whoa.
Like getting our own place is all on his shoulders and he can't touch any of my money to be able to provide for us. That to me isn't fair. They want him to shoulder the weight of 2 people on one person's salary. With his salary and a little help from my trust fund, we could get a nice ass house, but my parents won't allow him to do that for us right now. They are still cautious about us getting anything. You know, it's weird to me that you would set up a trust fund for someone and you would claim the money is for them, But yet when that person wants the money, you tell them they can't have it. It's almost like you're using Gypsy and defrauding Gypsy, and you're defrauding everyone else because you're making people feel like the money is going to Gypsy, but you're using it for yourself. Gypsy has also told people that her parents used her trust fund to remodel their house, and they were spending her money. They were only after her for money. Rod says Lifetime wants to pay us for a story. He's doing the TikTok challenge where they're talking about money. It's just an ironic, not too funny video given that everyone is accusing them of being after money.
Whoa.
Everyone knows that what they're doing is wrong. They have a trust fund set up. They're trying to avoid law enforcement. They're trying to avoid victims. They're trying to avoid lawsuits. They're taking unusual steps to interfere in her life, to get her husband out of the way because her husband would have control of her assets. It's her stepmom that's in court fighting for her money, which is, again, weird. I have to remind everyone,
Crazy as hell.
Christy's not a relative to Gypsy, not by blood, only through marriage. She's a stepmother. She has absolutely no legal ties to Gypsy. Stepmothers don't actually have legal rights of children. They don't have legal say of kids. They really are at the discretion of their partner to make those choices, and they have to have a good relationship with the other parent that's the same sex as them. So if it's Christy, would have had to have a good relationship with Dee Dee. And we all know Dee Dee can't talk because she's no longer here. So when a woman that's seemingly unrelated to you is in your divorce, having you divorce your husband, wants your money, but also is helping you get all these deals to get the money. And meanwhile, I'm wondering if not only this is being done because of the victims, but what about all of the companies that have been defrauded along the way? What about Medicaid? What about Make-A-Wish? What about Habitat for
That's a good point.
Humanity? What about all of the charitable organizations in their community? Angel Flight gave them free flights anytime she went to the hospital. It seems like they're making it very hard for any of these companies that were defrauded by them to actually come back and get restitution. And, you know, the interesting thing that they were able to do with her case was Gypsy was a full-grown adult. She was almost 24. She was arrested, I think, on June 16th or June 17th, and she was 23. She turned 24 a month later in July. When she was arrested, she had a state ID that stated her age, so Gypsy knew how old she was. Gypsy knew how old she was her whole life. She's lied about that a million times. She knew how old she was, and she just pretended to be younger. Nick Godejohn said in his interrogation that Gypsy pretends to be younger. Not that she thinks she's younger. She pretends for her mom and for her, pretends. She's the girl that went from eating mashed potatoes, right? Magical mashed potatoes, to becoming Ruby, who was his vixen, an evil side that matched to Nicholas Godejohn's Victor. She was acting, and she's continuing to act. And so when I look at her currently,
Oh my God.
and I wonder, quite literally, there's been so many rumors that there's an FBI investigation. And I'm trying to wrap my head around what could be investigated. It feels like some of the fraud that happened with her mom, not necessarily like her role of it. Some of that would be well outside of the statute of limitations. Like bank fraud, wire fraud, those are 5 years, or bank fraud is 10 years, but wire fraud and money laundering, they're all within a like short window. And the only way that window gets extended in the federal government is if you add RICO charges. And I don't know how you could classify Gypsy as a crime family. I mean, I guess if you wanted to classify Gypsy, her mom, her stepmom, and her dad, and maybe her siblings as a part of the crime family, maybe. But RICO itself would be hard to prove, I would think, and I'm not a lawyer, but that's the only way that you can get past those statutes that are like 10 years or 5 years. And the statutes are pretty hard to get past. And Missouri's are even shorter. And then people keep talking about if she perjured herself in Nick's case. Perjury in Missouri is 3 years. So when she got a 10-year sentence, really she was given a gift, because by the time she was released, all of the fraud was erased. Not because she didn't do it, not because it didn't happen, but because the law can't charge it. So then it becomes a question of, can she be charged for moving around money that they're moving around right now? Is it possible that Gypsy continued to scam people in prison? Well, I had one of her friends from prison on my TikTok, Rachel, who was her friend for years, and said that Gypsy was scamming people and running romance scams in prison and basically getting men to pay for her, even though she didn't need the money. And she was stockpiling cash in
What the hell is a romance scam?
her commissary account, and then all of that money got to go out with her. She would collect.
Oh, like being like, oh hey, trying to get like them honey buns stacked up, trying to get them ramen noodles stacked up.
Collect money from all these sugar daddies under the premise that they were her only one and only. So when she was with
Oh hell,
Ryan, she apparently had all these other guys putting money on her books. I don't know that they would actually charge for that, but could she be carrying this into this next life? It feels to me like Gypsy went in a con artist and became a better con artist when she got out. And now she thinks that she can con us into believing that she is reformed and an inspiration and a public figure of inspiration. You know, the thing that's always bothered me about this community, and I have a child with a disability, and it bothers me that children with disabilities are used as a token of inspiration, because all a child with a disability is, an adult with a disability is a person, first and foremost. And their life should not inspire others simply because they're being. They don't exist to make us feel better about ourselves. They don't exist to make us learn lessons. No more than I exist to make you learn lessons. They're a human and their humanity comes first. And Gypsy and her con exist around this concept that because of her disability, she was special. And now she thinks she's special because she's a victim of abuse, which may or not did happen. Even if she is a victim of abuse, most victims of abuse don't take the step to unalive their alleged perpetrator and then get praised for it and become famous celebrities. I'll tell you what, this is such
that is crazy as hell.
a terrible precedent, not only for children, but other inmates. And it's going to just be this ripple effect. And if the feds don't do something, I will be shocked. So I don't know if there's a federal investigation. That's the rumor. The rumor is the FBI is sniffing.
Have y'all heard that?
Around about fraud charges, maybe bank accounts that are being taken out in other people's names, kind of like what Dee Dee did, where she took out accounts in other people's names and took out checks and put out bank accounts and moved money around. You know, Gypsy did learn from the best, and it sounds like she might not be stopping. It also could mean why Christy and Gypsy and all of them are so hell-bent on silencing anyone that speaks out, because they don't want the feds to find them. But the funny thing is about people like this is that, you know, reality TV stars that openly flout the law have a propensity to get charged for crimes. And all you have to do is look at Todd Chrisley, who bragged openly about paying taxes that he never paid. And it basically sped up a federal investigation that landed him in prison for bank wire fraud and tax evasion and defrauding the United States government. And he's serving 12 and a half years. You don't brag about stuff and openly flout the law unless you're a raging narcissist. And Gypsy is one of the best at being a narcissist. So what are your thoughts about her fake gender reveal and her exposing herself as the public figure of inspiration? And are the feds finally going to arrest this girl? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up.
Do it, y'all. Give the video a thumbs up. Let me know what you think. TikTok, we got over 1,000 people watching. Y'all hit the follow button. My name's Patrick. If you like true crime, I'm live every night, 9 p.m. Pacific time. Y'all come on in, hang out. We talk about all kinds of different cases. Gypsy has been kind of taking over everything lately, so that's why we're talking about this one right now. Very much appreciated. Y'all hit the follow button. Tap the screen like crazy. Let's get 100,000 likes. I think we need 3 more of those hand hearts too, y'all. TikTok loves when we hit those gifts. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's continue on. Y'all, that was without what is it called again? Without Crystal Ball. Links in the description, y'all. Go follow her. Let's see who was next. I can't remember. Without a Crystal Ball, it's Kyla is up next, y'all. Let's go. Let's keep going. Oh, thanks, y'all. Queen. Hey, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
The cat's out of the bag. Gypsy Rose has revealed that she is having a girl. I feel like even though it was 50-50, this is the more wild of an outcome, in my personal opinion. I think that there's a lot of things that we need to talk about. And also, Ryan has done a live where he had some things to say about it as well. And we're going to be reacting to that. I'm really curious what you all have
Oh, I didn't even know he did a live
to say about this, but I definitely have some thoughts that I'm going to share in this video. Now, before we get into it, I am going to be doing reactions to the full interrogations of Gypsy Rose, Nicholas Godejohn, even Nicholas Godejohn's mother.
Oh, damn.
All of the videos that have been out, even the court footage ones, I'm going to go through and watch.
Damn, that's crazy as hell. I might have to watch some of that. Y'all, Kyla, she's pinned down in the description. Go give her a subscribe. Go check out the rest of her stuff. Let's keep going.
Watch all on my Patreon. So if you would like to join my Patreon, the first one's going to go up this week, and it's going to be very interesting. I haven't seen them in a very long time. I watched them a while back, so I'm curious how it feels rewatching them, knowing all the things that we know now. So if you would like to join my Patreon and watch the interrogations in full with me, definitely check it out. It also helps support this channel, which would be amazing. So if you join, grab your popcorn, get your tea, because we're going to be sipping it like you ain't never seen before over on my Patreon. You can also join my members too if you would like to. You will also get the same content, but that's going to be coming up later this week, and it is going to be fun. And also, if you join, I have a ton of other videos that will instantly be unlocked for you to check out. If you join, let me know. I'll be so excited to have you. But yeah, let's go ahead and hop into this video because there's a lot to talk about. I want to say this at the very beginning. I think this needs to be known as someone who is a mother. Children are so innocent and deserve to be protected, right? They deserve to be safe, and we are their parents. Amen. And it is our duty to protect them and to keep them safe. I have some concerns with this situation because Gypsy Rose is so hated that I do fear for her child and worry about her. And I got a lot of comments in my last video from you all saying, you know, how could you say all these things where she's lying and then applaud her for saying she's going to keep her child off of social media? Was that a questionable choice? Absolutely. I probably should not have applauded a woman who conspired to murder her mom. And I say conspired because I'm not trying to get sued here, and I wasn't there. All right. I wasn't in the house. I don't know what happened. Like, if we were sitting down on a couch together talking one-on-one, you know, maybe I would choose my words a little bit less carefully, but here on the internet, I'm not trying to get sued. All right. Now, here's my biggest concern, something that I haven't said in the other videos about her having a child. Child is going to grow up, and they're going to see all of the things that their mom has been accused of and all of their things that their mom has done. They're going to see how their grandmother's life ended. They're going to hear all the things that people had to say online about everything. They're going to be able to watch the court footage. They're going to watch the interrogations. They're going to see all of these things that Gypsy has put out there and that Gypsy has done, because that stuff is forever. So this child is going to grow up and they're going to know this stuff one day, right? But right now, as they enter this world, they are innocent. They don't know what mom they're being born to, what world they're coming into. And it is Gypsy and Ken's job to protect that baby. Okay. So when she says that she's going to keep her child off the internet, I'm not saying I believe her. I'm saying I hope so. My hope for her is that she is a good mom, but do I believe that she's going to be? I really don't know. Okay. We all have questions here. So I definitely have some concerns when it comes to this child entering the world. My hope, not my belief, is that Gypsy and Ken are amazing parents and that the child grows up in a loving environment where they are safe and protected and their mom's trauma doesn't affect them, so that when they do get to an age where they hear the truth about how everything that happened, they could at least look back on their childhood and be like, well, my mom was good to me. She was a good mom to me. But, you know, it's like in situations like this, I just don't know. First, let's watch this gender reveal that Gypsy
all about patterns.
He did. Okay. Was it a gender reveal? I kind of wonder if let's just go ahead and watch this first.
Sweetie, I'm your mom.
I'm your dad.
And you are a girl.
I've seen these videos before, these gender reveals, and what they typically do is they walk around and they film themselves and their family and their friends asking each other what they think that the baby's going to be, and nobody knows yet, and they all say what they think that the baby's going to be, and then they do the reveal. This one's interesting because they don't say what they think the baby's going to be, they say what they know that the baby is. So I've never seen it done like that before, but I will say this, it isn't unusual for people to do a gender reveal for friends and family when they know what they're having, but Ryan had something interesting to say about it, so let's go ahead and watch his video really quick.
Congrats on the daughter. Come on, guys. Yeah, I knew it was a girl a while ago. So did Gypsy. Like, so did everybody. If you knew anything about Gypsy, you knew that it was a girl. I mean, everybody knew that. So I didn't think the point. I didn't know. Like, honestly, I get why you do a gender reveal, but if you already know, then what's the point? Like, that's my opinion. But
he's sassy.
But
like
yeah, They had a gender reveal today. I knew that, but
He already knew that it was a girl, so she's out here texting him. She probably let him be a part of the gender reveal. Like, what do you think it's going to be? What do you think this child that could potentially be yours is going to be? No, I will say this. I do not think that this is Ryan's baby. It does not line up to be Ryan's baby. I know that it's fun, you know, drama to like question if it is, but there's just no way. And some other people made really good points about how she had her rhinoplasty done after she left Ryan, and you cannot do that while you're pregnant. So unless, you know, Ken wasn't there one night and she went and hooked up with Ryan, it's most likely Ken's baby. But they are going to have to do a DNA test, as we all know. Now, I definitely have some concerns with this baby being born, as far as like Gypsy has not worked through her childhood trauma, and I do not think that she is aware under any circumstance.
Oh Lord, Heather, Alexi Treviso update. I saw that they were trying to get that video withheld from being shown to the jury, the one where they were talking and interrogating her there. And I did see a headline that said she got a big win in that case, so they might have been able to do that. But I haven't checked on it though. That's a good idea though. I'm gonna check on that one. Thanks, Heather. So sweet, and thanks for the love over here, y'all. Very much appreciate it. KT Bug, thank you.
Is the types of things that come up once the child is here. Right now, it's all about her, right? And she loves that. She loves that this is all about her. When you're pregnant, you get all the attention. Everybody tends to you. I mean, Ken's yelling at her off camera to drink her water. All the attention's on her. She loves this, okay? She loves that everybody's just pouring all the attention into her. But once you have that baby, people don't care about you so much anymore. It's all about the baby. And I'm really curious to see, with her personality and the way that I've seen her behave, how she's going to handle it. Suddenly, all the attention is on her daughter. I think Gypsy loves things being about her. I think she loves people talking about her. She likes the attention. I'm not sure how she's going to handle it so much whenever there's a baby involved. And I'm honestly very concerned for the child. And I hope that I'm wrong in everything that I'm saying. There's some people that are saying, you know, she wants to keep her kid off of TV and out of the spotlight because, I mean, she doesn't want people to be judging her parenting or how she raises the child. And that's a very fair assessment as well, because all eyes are going to be on her and how she is as a mom. There are just a lot of discrepancies in the things that she has said about her childhood, and a lot of things that people have been questioning that she doesn't address. I need to show you all this video right here because you know how I feel about Christy. I'm not a Christy stan. She drives me insane. But watch Gypsy's face in this moment when Christy starts talking about herself, and you can visibly see Gypsy get upset that the conversation is not about her anymore.
Oh man, y'all you want to come see it? Come on over. The Mystery Project on YouTube. You guys come hang out. TikTok, hit the follow button too. My name's Patrick if you like true crime, but we're at, how many we got left? 24 subscribers left, and we hit 16,000, y'all. 24 of you guys watching right now on TikTok. Go to YouTube, type The Mystery Project, and subscribe. We're live there right now. You can see the video. You can hear the videos. You can see everything. Come on over. YouTube, we got 19 likes away from 200 as well. So we got 251 people watching. Everybody hit the thumbs up. Here we go.
Listen to this.
Girl, I don't think I'm gonna fit those in.
Yeah, sometimes you will lose the weight fast because you're always doing something. When the baby's sleeping, you're either gonna sleep or you're gonna do catch up on housework or something.
Yeah.
Like I lost mine quick after, I'll say quick, but didn't take long after I had me because I was turning to
Look at her face.
brother. I was feeling I lost at a good rate too. But I'm breastfed.
Oh, damn, she does look mad as hell.
Well, I had Ken got a gym membership.
Let's take the conversation back to me, honey. Did you all see her face in that clip when she started talking about herself and she's just like, I will say this, Christy tends to interrupt and make things about her. And so, you know, I'm sure living with her, when she starts talking about herself, you're probably going to get irritated because you're going to be like, girl. But at the same time, I feel like this also shows the way
You're going to be like, girl.
that I believe that Gypsy is, where she likes the attention and the spotlight and people to be talking about her. People.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Purple Hearts. No, you don't have to. You don't have to subscribe on YouTube to watch it. You can just go to the channel to watch it. But if you subscribe, then you get notified when we go live, which is always good.
People to be looking at her, people to be watching her. She loves it. And so you kind of.
But if you mean like if it costs money or something, hell no. Hell no. It never costs any money anywhere to watch any of my things. Hell no. I'm all about going live for the people. I mean, y'all can join the channels and support the channel and do that kind of stuff, but you'll never have to. You'll never have to. Dallas, what are you doing? Oh, he's mad as hell, y'all. My cat's going nuts. YouTube, keep hitting that thumbs up button.
See a little bit of a flicker of a moment where she's like,
y'all, the YouTube is called the Mystery Project. The Mystery Project. Come on over.
upset that it isn't about her anymore. I don't know how this is going to work out, because like there are a lot of moms out there that when they have daughters, they don't treat their daughters very well because they're jealous of them. They're younger than them. They get more attention than them. There's some moms that do not do a very good job with their daughters. Okay. I hope that this will be like a Lorelai and Rory Gilmore situation, but we all know that it is not going to turn out like that. She had a really horrible example, but there are a lot of people who have really bad examples out there and turn out to be amazing moms. But the problem is Gypsy hasn't even been out of prison after spending 8 years in there for a full year yet. I don't know. It's about to get real. I'm kind of like sitting there thinking, I wonder if Christy and Rod are going to end up raising the child. I mean, Rod even said at the end of their show, Gypsy Rose Life After Lockup, he even said, like, I don't want to be raising a baby right now. I think he said that. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure he said something like, let's watch this one really quick because this live is very interesting to me. Okay, let's watch.
Because, like, I know growing up, I believed in Santa Claus. I was led to believe in Santa Claus until I was like 23, guys.
What the hell are you talking about? Santa Claus is real. Right?
Bruh.
I'm not joking. Like, nobody told
I don't believe
me.
that.
Emotional damage.
Nobody told me. So when he didn't pass for me when I got arrested, my little heart was broken. So it's a sore subject. So I'm like, are we gonna do the whole Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, and all that stuff? And he's like, of course we are. So I'm like, okay. We're gonna do it all.
She said she doesn't want her daughter to believe in Santa Claus and Easter Bunny because she believed in Santa Claus until she went to prison. You know what bothers me so much about Gypsy and some of her stories that she tells is she acts like she wasn't exposed to other opinions and other things. She met someone online because she was getting online and chatting and making friends. She had the internet. This girl knew that Santa Claus was not real. It really bothers me sometimes how she tries to tell her story as if she was one of the Turpin kids who were literally chained to their beds and starved and didn't have any toys to play with, didn't have clean clothes. They didn't have proper speech. Gypsy speaks very well for someone who didn't have a proper education. The Turpin children and Gypsy seem like two polar opposites.
Wait, Gypsy never went to school? Is that true?
It's like the things Gypsy claims happen almost sounds like she was telling one of their stories, but the way that the other parts of her story lines up with what she's saying doesn't make sense. We're told that Santa was real and believed in him until you were 23, I think she claimed. She used the internet. She knew what BDSM was, but she didn't know Santa wasn't real.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
And then also on top of that,
BD what?
That you're already projecting your childhood onto your child. Like, you don't want them to believe in Santa Claus because you did forever, which I don't believe her anyway, but you don't want them to believe in Santa Claus because of that. Don't take the magic of their childhood away just because you're sucked. Even that statement alone is already a projection. Like,
yeah, doesn't that usually, like, if you have a pretty rough childhood, don't you like want to try even harder to give your kids everything you didn't have? I mean, that's what I'm doing. My little dude is like spoiled rotten. That little man is spoiled.
There's nothing wrong with believing in Santa Claus as a child and having a magical childhood where you believe in, you know, things that aren't real. That's a wonderful thing to have an imaginative childhood. And she wants to take that away. I'm worried that all of her childhood trauma is going to be projected onto this little human because she didn't work stuff out before she brought the baby into it.
And those who are Team Ken, good for you. I mean, I'm happy. I support the LGBTQ. Oh. God, I'm so mean.
I'm just going to say, I'm not speculating on someone's sexuality. That is not my place, okay? As a bisexual woman, I would have never wanted somebody to speculate on mine and talk about mine before I did. Even if he is gay, who cares? Well, Gypsy will. Also need to show you guys this because he keeps accidentally accepting these lives from other people, and he was so rude to this girl. Watch this video.
Yeah.
All right, nice seeing you. Mind exiting?
My exiting?
Yeah, no, you mind exiting, like getting off my live.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, that poor girl.
All right, I need you to get off. Need you to leave.
he's yelling at her.
Thank you. God, I can't stand when I accidentally do that.
That was rude.
Yeah, I hit the accept button again. I hate that. I know I should have been nicer, but like if I accidentally accepted, like I was doing the decline, like don't show again for 10 minutes, and instead of decline, I hit accept.
It's not the first time he's done that.
Yeah, I was rude because
Y'all, that shit happens to me all the time over here. Y'all, I just stopped even. I try not to even touch it, but every once in a while when I lag out for a little bit, it's because somebody's trying to join the live stream and I don't even touch it. I'm like, nah, I'm good. That happens all the time. Drives me nuts. You can't turn that off. Let's keep going, shall we? Speaking of which, TikTok, hit that follow button. My name's Patrick. If you like true crime, I'm live every night, 9 p.m. Pacific time, y'all. 10,000 likes and we hit 100,000, y'all. Come on. Everybody tap the screen like crazy. Let's go. YouTube, good to see everybody too. We got over 300 people watching. Let's get 300 likes, y'all. Tap the screen or tap the thumbs up button. Let's keep going.
come on. If she'd have got on there and said something, it might have been
She did.
better, but she just looked at me.
That poor girl.
I have no patience. Guys, I didn't mean to accept her. I was so rude.
You were.
Come on. You don't think it's rude to try to join my live not even knowing me?
That's what TikTok is.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was just so random. If she'd have got on there and like said something and done something, I would have probably talked to her. But when she just sit there and looked at me.
He was so rude to that girl. And here's the thing, honey, you accidentally accepted her. I feel like we have seen the way that Ryan treats people. Okay. He's not very nice to people that he doesn't know. Like, well, he knew the man that was driving the Uber in the show, but he was being so rude to him. You guys remember he's like leaning forward and telling him what to do and like cussing and all this stuff at that guy. And then here he was really rude to this girl on the live when she got on there.
It looked like she didn't even know what he was saying.
There was another girl that he
It looked like she didn't speak English or didn't speak English very well.
accidentally accepted one day. And also when they were like walking through New York City and people wanted Gypsy's picture, he was being really rude to those people and telling them to like hurry up and stuff. Listen, Ryan, you are on a TikTok live, and one of the features on TikTok live is people can request to join your live. It is not rude that they're requesting to join your live. Maybe she's never been on one before. Maybe she thinks that you do that sometimes. And you also accepted her and then yelled at her. You probably made her cry. Like, what an asshole move. That was just rude.
A-hole.
I'm not really going to talk about the pregnancy.
YouTube.
See, guys, like, I know she's having a girl, though, and that's good for her. Like, what y'all want me to say on that? I mean, divorce is happening. That's all I know. Do a poll. People want me to do a poll. Pixie, why are you being grouchy? Why are you being grouchy?
Oh, yeah, that's right, y'all. We need to do a poll. Sorry, TikTok. We didn't do a poll yet. All right. Smiley face. You're enjoying the live. Crying face. You hate the live. You want me to end it right now.
Grouchy right now.
Maybe because she's got a grouchy dad who yells at girls on lives all the time.
You know. Yeah. I think she still contacts me. Let me do a poll on that. I will do a poll.
Someone's going to troll me and hit the crying face and make me end the live stream right now.
Poll.
His
Do you
polls.
think she still contacts me?
I can't with his polls.
Yeah, red is yes, blue is no. Do you think she still contacts me? I kind of wonder what y'all think. Red is yes, blue is no. Do y'all think she still contacts me, reaches out? Majority says yes.
He's making a lot of money on this
Just
live.
curious. Just curious. Why wouldn't she reach out to me, right? Why wouldn't she reach out to somebody as awesome as me? She misses our king, Ryan. That's funny. I like messing with y'all.
Damn.
Does Gypsy make me stay quiet about stuff? I will let y'all know this. Gypsy is worried about things I might say. She had told me that a long time ago, though. when we first split, she's worried about things I might say or do. She knows I'm a loose cannon sometimes. Like if I get mad, like the respecting video, I did that when I was really mad. I'm a loose cannon sometimes, like when I get really mad. So yeah, I do know that she worried about things I might say. So
damn,
just say it. Yeah, right. Everybody wants to spill the tea and stuff. I get why y'all want to know, but no.
You know, I do believe that Gypsy is scared of things that Ryan could say. She flipped out on the show a few times. Imagine her when she wasn't being recorded. I will say this. He seems like he's got some issues too. But I definitely feel like that's one of the reasons why she tries to still be nice to him and talk to him and string him along and stuff like that, because she's worried if she doesn't, what will he say? I hope he says something one day. He probably will. I'll be really surprised.
Lord. Watched my documentary Mommy Dead and Dearest back in May of 2017, and he watched it with a friend of his, and he wrote me a letter while I was in prison, and he was not looking for a girlfriend. This was not that type of a letter. He wasn't hitting on me, he wasn't flirting with me, he wasn't any of that. It was just like,
I'm sorry, red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag. For any guy to reach out to Gypsy while she was in prison, I will say that until I'm blue in the face. It is bizarre, and it's not normal behavior for some guy to have like the time out of his day to sit down and write a letter to Gypsy. Like, did you guys watch that documentary? She looked like 11, 12-year-old little girl in those videos. All right. What in the world possessed these men to want to write her? And also to be like, I wasn't even looking for anything. Guys do not, I'm sorry, they don't waste their time on a girl that they don't know to have a conversation in letter format that takes a lot of effort if they're not looking for something.
Oh, man. Holy hell, y'all. YouTube, hit that thumbs up button. Hit the subscribe button. Let me know what you thought about all that. That's all I got for tonight. I'm going to bed. I love you guys. YouTube, when it ends, is going to kick you over to the haunted side on YouTube. You can go watch some of the ghost hunting stuff. It's live right now. It's some of the replays of like the scariest stuff we did. So, y'all, when this ends, it'll redirect you over. Go check it out. Go subscribe to that channel if you're into that kind of stuff. Leave a like on that video as well. And I'll see y'all tomorrow.